Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to this Friday night's edition of the Wacky Woo. Tonight, of course, with Mr. JSNIP4 and Julie. How come that poster is wrong? Hold on. I'll be right back. In the meantime, please welcome my friend here, JSNIP4. You can find him at JSNIP42 on YouTube and also here on Patreon at patreon.com/JSNIP4. Joe, how's it going, man?
Good. Yep. It's been doing some piloting training and whatnot for my helicopter license. I've knocked out all the stuff I needed to knock out: time, daylight, nighttime, maneuvers. Need this many hours doing this, da, da, da. So I got all that done. I can now solo just fine. I can fly by myself and study a few more things and practice, and then do my exam and my pilot exam where they do the check ride.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed I passed the damn thing.
Awesome. Well, we'll get into some of those details. In the meantime, also, please welcome my guest, my co-host again tonight, Julie from Maison Jupiter. You can find her here on YouTube at Maison Jupiter and also on the web at maisonjupiter.com. Julie, welcome back to the show. How's it going?
Hi, guys. Doing good. Happy to be here spending my Friday night with you guys.
I love it. It is the hangout. It is the place to be. And of course, thank you to all of you following us live here tonight on this wonderful Friday evening. We're going to have some fun with you guys tonight. There's quite a few weird things happening. There's a lot of vindication in the air, so to speak, Joe. Maybe we can start there on this one. I was interested when I saw, when I saw this one earlier this week. Of course, you remember that during the campaign, she had said, "Oh my God, thank God you're not in charge of our Justice Department." And he said, "No, because you'd be in jail." Well, right now, lawsuits are coming out. And it's funny, just as the timing goes, that perhaps her funding sources in that part of the world that we can't mention too much on YouTube right now is happening at the same time as she's just now tested positive for the thing. Joe, what's going on here, man? Help us read through the tea leaves here.
Yeah. Her and everybody else up there is last week or two. "Oh, I've got it. I'm positive. I'm positive. Oh, me too." Okay. And our favorite 17th letter thing, there was one single post. It's one post and only one. And it goes something like this: long time ago, or a few years ago, "The Clintons' health will rapidly decline." Is this the start of it?
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, everybody's getting it. All these important people, "Oh, I got it too. Oh, me too, me too." And it makes you wonder, is some of these people about to go away for, some reason or another?
Mm-hmm.
And, like you said, Trump, he's vindicated. He filed a lawsuit against all of them. I mean, from Hillary to the DNC, I mean, everybody. Peter Strzok, I think Lisa Page, all of them are named. And then, John Doe's, 1 through 8 or whatever, and companies also. So there's more room for a whole bunch more people, to be listed. So it's basically essentially what amounts to a RICO lawsuit, ultimately against them. And it'll be very interesting to see, because if he's successful, you would think, okay, well, then the Department of Justice has to also act and do, because he can't make them, he can't really file a RICO against them, so to speak, in the way that the Department of Justice could, and bring down the hammer on them like they could. So it may force their hand over at the Department of Justice.
Yeah.
Let me see my fuzzy thing over here. My little fuzzy.
Dude, you have a wardrobe malfunction.
Okay.
You got a wardrobe malfunction.
Eardrobe. Yeah. There we go. Now I feel good. That the green screen effect around there is okay, but if there's real green from the headphones, I can't handle that.
I love it. How selective you are. Yeah, and you're right, man, because if one thing is determined in one court of law, it kind of forces everybody else's hand. Just like here in Canada, there's a big problem right now because all of the provinces, of course, are lifting the mandates because the numbers now support it, they say, but yet our federal government is not lifting. So I'm like, okay, well, you said follow the science. So if all the provinces are following the science, what the fuck are you guys following? Oh, politics. Oh, okay.
Same with the airlines over here. The airlines are like, the CEOs don't want to force people to wear the mask.
Yeah.
The employees and the airplane pilots, they don't want people to do it. The people themselves, the passengers, don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, but this basically came through the federal government. That is the reason why we're still having to do it.
Yeah.
So same situation here.
Going back to this story here, and first of all, I brought my poster up here. I just wanted to show it to the audience. Man, I messed up. I messed up my intro. Here's the poster for tonight. There you go. With JSNIP and Julie on the screen there. So apologies. And, you know, live shit happens. You know, it is what it is. But Joe, going back to HRC here, testing positive. What's your gut feeling? And I'm going to ask Julie to pull some cards on this too. Is this an example of, you know, like the mafia getting the Sicilian flu just before they go to court? Or is this testing positive right now a code word for maybe captured people under this white hat umbrella, maybe terminology we can use? What's your gut feeling? And then we'll ask the cards also. Man,
that's a tough one. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of the two things you said maybe at once. I don't, you know, my feeling where, yeah, it's a white hat operation. And if some of these people get sick and they're not able to be out in the public, not able to do stuff, you know, my next question is, how sick do they get? Do they get real sick? And, oh my God, breaking news. Hunter Biden found blank of a blank news coming. Again, Woo Dude's timeline.
Right.
Kind of a thing. With the rest of them, oh, they got ill. She's not going to be able to. Sorry, she can't answer the lawsuit now because she's actually, you know, God forbid she passes on. You know, it could be. Again, there's no way right now, in my eyes, everyone's getting. It's going away. Oh, I got it. It's like it's going away for everybody else. So
it's kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And at the same time, Trump might be acting in coordination with this white hat umbrella in a way where his lawsuit is not really for him, but more as a big picture thing, right? That's what I'm seeing also. I mean, he doesn't need the money. It's not about that. Yes, he wants to be vindicated, but in many Americans' eyes, he already is. And you just mentioned Hunter and blank that we can't talk about. But of course, again, just in mainstream news last week, I could bring up the slides here from the New York Times and our people. It's been confirmed now, this whole story about the laptop. There's been a recovery of a lot of those images that were on that laptop. So this is now no longer conspiracy theory, yet a lot of us got strikes. Go ahead.
Including his, dead brother's 14-year-old daughter, which I remember when those videos were released. And we were eyeballing some of that stuff going, holy moly, from the Chinese website. Remember that weird Chinese website that put it up? The only place you could find it. Yeah. And they were showing all the stuff, including allegedly Obama's daughters. But so if the 14-year-old checkbox is checked, I ask everybody else, how about the Obama daughters?
Yeah. Exactly, and guys,
confirmed.
Guys, I gotta warn you: if you haven't seen these pictures, you don't really want to. You can't unsee this shit, and some of it was really disturbing already. So I'm like, and I barely scratched the surface of anything. People send me shit all the time, and I open my emails. I'm like, dude, you should put a warning at the title. I don't want to see that shit. So so again, more vindication there. Going back on the Trump thing. So let me ask Julie, what do you think this COVID testing positive for Hillary is? Is it part of a bigger white hat op, or is it just trying to get out of harm's way in a Sicilian flu kind of tactic? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's both, because I got first the 5 of Wands card, so it's like a sort of a battlefield type of situation. So I feel like it's part of the answer is removing them from the battlefield so they can like the white hats try to limit the damage that you could do. And also the second card I got is the Knight of Wands, which is more of a military action, like a white hat military action. So I think it's kind of both at the same time, limit the damage they could do to remove them from the battlefield, but also it might be also like a code for everybody to see. Like if we remove those players from the battlefield, then it's a code for all the white hat operation to go down from there.
Sorry, I was muting myself. And Joe, back to the boards also, we know they use all of these code words. What else do you think has a relation to this testing positive? Because we saw a lot of leaders during the last 2 years testing positive out of the blue also, and we thought, oh, is that a code word for them being replaced? we have, and I'll bring it up here, Trump suggesting that maybe a few of our leaders have indeed been replaced. So he's putting fuel to the fire that the people we're seeing on camera are not actually the people we think they are. So where does that COVID narrative also tie into that?
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah, that's the code word for they're gone, and it doesn't necessarily mean gone as in they've died. It could just mean they're gone. They're completely out of power. They've either been let go somewhere where they're never going to be heard from again, or maybe they're going to be in trouble. And again, they get taken away. Someone else pops up. I remember that time when they dragged Hillary to the van. You know, she hurt like it was like a lifeless body.
Yeah.
And then hours later, she comes out of the building in New York and hurries in. They're like, okay, that lady's too short. She's too this. She's too that. You know, they quickly had somebody that looked just like her, you know, in my opinion, come out and, hey, I'm good. Get in there. Don't let anyone notice that your hands are wrong, your height's wrong, your width's wrong. Get in there. Get in the car. Hurry up. So, you know, we may be seeing
this is her coming out after, and it didn't look like that maybe an hour before she face planted in front of the van. So, no, big difference there.
Yeah. Oh.
Big difference.
And then I was asking the cards what was the code about more precisely, and I got the Emperor, which is usually Janine's code card for Mr. T. So I think it's like showing people, the true people in power, and also maybe a code for Mr. T upcoming.
There is some election stuff that's been making some pretty good headway recently.
Right.
And I found there was one thing. So there's that, I don't know her names. It is, I think, the one that was in Arizona, I believe. And the local, I don't know if she was Secretary of State or the local elections official, had an IT company come in, take a snapshot of the machine before anything with the election happened, then afterwards, and they realized, oh my God, they deleted this database, they added this database, they changed this, they changed that. Like, oh my God, like fraud like crazy. And so they then, either the governor or the Secretary of State has now charged her with tampering with an election, blah, 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 blah. And they are throwing her in jail at the moment. But what she uncovered that is now fact has blown this whole thing wide open. And so that's happening right now. So it's like, okay. And there's some places right now that are voting on stuff like, you know, about not quite decertifying, but like we're getting close. And I'm going, okay. And like I've been saying, you know, with Trump, I said, wouldn't it be amazing if Joe Biden's in there and everything goes to shit and everything's blamed on him, and then Trump comes in afterwards? He goes, well, look, this happened with the election, and I'm here and now I can fix it. But look,
it sure looks like it's going exactly that way. When you look at everything right now, even Biden, there was a video of Trump saying, hey, everybody knows Joe doesn't even know he's alive. Like, there's another clip of Trump saying that. It's absolutely hilarious. But here he's talking about Mr. P himself. Now, Joe, I think you and I had covered this a couple of years ago, where we thought that perhaps Mr. P had already been changed over maybe 12, 13 years ago. And in this particular comment by Trump, it felt like he was saying, Trump, that he knew Mr. P when he was in office, so just a couple of years ago as a president, way past the 13-year mark that I'm talking about, saying that since then, perhaps Mr. P has changed as well. Do you think he was talking about a recent change, or just the narrative? He was just trying to espouse the narrative that these people are not who they all appear to be. What do you think about the timing of the characters and the swaps?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
On that one, it's hard to say. You know, again, no matter what we say, it's just honestly, it's real speculation. That's all we're doing, and then maybe one day we'll figure it out. But again, I'm like, how are they really going to let us see it? Because again, like there's people getting in trouble right now. I keep seeing more. George Papadopoulos was just posting again about some Obama guy got nailed for something, and it's like, if these Democrats and these guys are in charge, these people are not going to be charged with stuff. They're going to be given a little walk, not even mentioned on the news. We won't even mention it. Have a nice day. They're not getting in trouble. And yet they are.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting to say that. Let me ask Julie on this Mr. P swap. Do you think that's recent? Do you think we're talking about an old swap? Or do you think Trump was just basically putting out the narrative to start educating the public that actually people have been replaced?
Well, I think actually this is a real swap, but I think more of an upgrade. So I think his DNA was upgraded recently by the Alliance and the good ETs type of people. So I think it was more of a recently. I think it was more of a DNA upgrade, and probably they worked a little stuff for him for his health, and I don't know what else. But I've got the Three of Pentacles, so it's more of a collaboration type of card with the Alliance. And also I've got the Strength, which is talking about life force and energy. So giving him more strength, more power to fight back the dark hats. So I think it was more of a,
Wow.
DNA upgrade.
And what do you think about, a lot of people are touting in this community that perhaps Russia has been helped by some benevolent ET forces here. Do you want to, first of all, maybe share your opinion, or I'll ask Joe first his opinion, and then I'll ask you, Julie, to pull cards. What do you think about the ET involvement there and some of perhaps new technologies that they're putting to bear, which is making a shame of all the allied forces right now? They're really getting their ass handed to them by what's happening in that.
Whoa. I heard 40,000 Russians got nailed the other day, dude. What are you talking about? And a Russian guy disobeyed his commander and ran him over.
I know, it's horrible. Yeah.
Where are you getting your
one of their big destroyers was destroyed. At sea.
That too.
Yeah, that's
So I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Where you get your news from, but I get mine from CNN. So yeah, I mean, it's a complete shit show. They've got Zelensky, whatever, giving his speech in front of a freaking green screen. And here's the thing that I've noticed. Again, these leftists, they hang on to anything. And the more I look at these comments, the more I'll sometimes even go in there and I'm going, where's even one leftist comment? And I'm scrolling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, excuse me? They're usually forced into my face right off the bat.
Yeah, but
well, if they don't comment, then they certainly won't be there. So some of these leftists are getting, I guess, some information that they're not going to come out and maybe necessarily admit, oh, I was wrong. But they'll be silent and not post.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing a lot of that, in the beginning, I stand with Ukraine. We changed my Twitter profile with the Ukrainian flag. You morons. So they're doing that. And then learning some things later. Again, the biolab thing is now pretty big news. What biolabs? Who put those there? Oh, Fauci's connected. That one's connected.
Watch the language, Joe. Watch the language on that, because the algos are really tough on that, and Cliff was telling me the other day too. But again, this is coming out too. We could say stay in the facts here and say that America first denied it, then said, well, there might be some, but it's not what you think, and then, oh yeah, there were some, but they weren't doing this, and like the narrative keeps changing, and of course the truth is coming out. It's coming out. Maybe in a couple of weeks we'll be able to actually talk about it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And so again, when you're saying that these guys are being defeated right now, it's kind of like Trudeau saying that the 2.2 million people in Canada were the fringe minority. I'm like, excuse me? They raised $10 million in 1 week, and the Liberal Party of Canada had raised $3 million in the first 6 months of being in office. So who's the minority here? Yeah. So again, it's just like complete the opposite of reality. Fascinating. Okay, Julie, what do you think? Oh, Julie, you're on mute. Hold on. There you go.
I'm back. Okay. We were asking if the ETs were potentially aiding Russia. Okay. So I've got the Page of Cups, which is definitely a help card, but not as we would think so. It's not like a military type of help. I feel like it's more of giving them the inspiration of coming up with new invention, new technology. It's more like giving them the ideas and the tools in order for them to develop themselves. Because this card is a water card, so it's more like inspiration.
Okay.
It's like giving tools more than helping on a physical, real level. And then I've got the King of Pentacles, which is also tied to the financial system. So making them stronger, showing them and teaching them how to be more independent financially, and how to separate themselves from the old system so they can be more sovereign in that way.
Right. Well, that makes a lot of sense because, again, if they are good ETs, typically they wouldn't do shit for you. They would give you, they would teach you, they would upgrade her so that you can be in a better position to do what you have to do. And this appears to be what you're saying here, as opposed to another force coming in and saving everybody. So I like that. Okay, interesting. The crypto retriever, JC, can you please define what a man is for us? Yes, I can. It's really fucking easy.
No, you're not a biologist. I don't care what you say.
But I'm not a biologist, and it's very complicated. Oh my God.
I'm not a doctor, Jim.
Damn it, Jim. No. I'm a doctor, not a biologist.
Yes.
Oh my God. This has just been one hilarious thing after another this week. That, and of course, the sentencing for the people who do harm to little people. Again, it's so in your face, like it's surreal. Joe, I don't know what's coming on. Is this happening because it's a way to wake up more people in that?
Yeah, again, with the leftist view, you know, if Trump's in power right now, anything that's happening, it's politics. He's just doing that because he's out of power.
Right.
This is under Biden and the team, you know, Team Biden and all the friends, and that guy's person, they're in trouble. That's that one. So that leftist is going to go, not flip out because it's not Trump. They don't just get Trump derangement syndrome. They just go, And they may be aggravated inside. They may not want to post or say anything to anybody, but inside they're going, So the seeds are being planted, and they're going to start growing. They're going to start sprouting. And I've noticed on Don Jr., you know, Trump Jr., his Twitter, a lot lately, he's been bringing up the kid thing, like way more than he ever has. And I'm going, again, it's just like, it's like a playbook's happening. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, your turn. Okay, then, he's going to start doing that. And George Papadopoulos, bring this stuff up again. And again, George Papadopoulos, he's got that big collage of people. Hillary, Peter Strzok, Mueller, James Comey, the whole crew. And 3 of them have exes because they've already got in trouble. And he keeps posting it. Why is he doing that? Because he's telling you these people are going to jail, just like our favorite letter of the alphabet said. Surely you don't think, you know, they're just going to get away with this. Like Hillary, surely you don't think she's just going to get away with this.
Right.
Well, someone got COVID, and I think I posted right away. I think George Papadopoulos did that, and I posted, you know, quote, whatever the quote was from our favorite letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
You know, just for fun. So,
well, let me go back to this and try to sound the cards here with Julie. Now, there is a prediction from Woo Woo Dude. I think some people kind of know what he's talking about. We're not mentioning it here, but let me ask Julie to pull some cards on how close we are to perhaps, I'll just say it this way, the prediction of Woo Woo Dude as it pertains to Biden son, Hunter, and what could come out attached to all of this. Joe, what's your gut feeling? Are we there now? Are we still waiting 6 months? Are we waiting a couple of days? With everything that's happening in the timeline right now and the temporal markers as they're hitting right now, what's your gut feeling? Yeah,
I mean, again, with just watching this again, COVID, and talk about the kids, and it sure seems like some progress is being made. Trump files his lawsuit, you know, right away. The other day, Stormy Daniels is being told by the judge, you got to pay Trump back for his lawyer fees.
How much was it? Like 300,000?
Okay,
yeah.
So he won that. Again, he's winning, and he's not in power, at least according to everyone who thinks whatever. So again, if I'm a leftist and I see that, and I remember, you know, standing by her, she's a woman, believe all women, that whole thing, and then, okay, wow, he won that, Wait a minute, Avenatti went to jail. That's correct too, Wait a minute, and again, you could be leftist, extremist, whatever you want to be, but you can't deny the stuff.
Yeah.
And when it just keeps one thing after every single thing you were told that you held on to for dear life and shared all over your Facebook and all your friends, you defriended and unfriended everybody because you didn't like what they said, but you wanted them to hear you. And now they're all going, yeah, remember all that bullshit you put on our pages? It was all a lie. We tried to tell you that and you unfriended us. So that person could be sitting in the corner going, damn, it's kind of lonely over here.
And remember that lawyer? And remember that lawyer too? the lawyer for Stormy Daniels, Avanti, facing legal problems again, serving 2.5 years in jail. Like, come on, guys. I mean, again, when you say, does she think really she's going to get away with it? All of this has a huge paper trail. And as long as there is some sort of justice, these people are going to go to justice. And it looks like we're going in that direction. So, Julie, the prediction that Woo Woo Dude made, how close are we to it without naming it?
Can you just expand a little bit more just for the cards to make sure I'm on the right track?
How do you want to phrase it, Joe, just to be on the safe side? I'll let you phrase it.
There's going to be some pretty big breaking news about Hunter Biden. Pretty big. And
which could lead
to his father stepping down early, or getting sick and going away early. Just something along those lines.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say other words, but I shouldn't say them. But yeah. Okay. That's good enough for now. Julie, what do you think? What would be a timeline on that?
Well, I'm thinking right now eclipse season with the cards I got to would be very much in alignment with what you guys were saying, because eclipse season, it brings out all the secrets. So we've got 2 eclipses coming up. We've got 4 in total during the year, but they always come in pairs. So the first one is going to be on April 30th and the second one on May 16th. So April 30th is going to be a new moon eclipse. So we're starting a new cycle with this one. And because it's a solar eclipse, the ancient ones used to say that a public man figure could be eclipsed during a solar eclipse. So that's the belief, and I found it true since I started studying astrology, that usually there's something up with a male figure, public figure, during a solar eclipse. And the one afterwards, 2 weeks later after this one, is a full moon lunar eclipse. So they say a public woman usually is eclipsed. So it could be either a passing, either someone being fired from a certain position. So it could be lots of things could be portrayed as eclipsed.
Or Hillary being indicted, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking the first one on April 30th, more maybe with the Hunter Biden thing. But then on the other one, the May 16 one, which is the full moon eclipse, I'm thinking more of Hillary stuff coming out, because it's also in the sign of Scorpio, which is political secrets of the elites, secrets coming out, and it's conjuncting the South Node, which is like the collective karma. So I feel like this one is going to be big for all these secrets that have been hidden for a long time, and mostly coming out in the mainstream media. So I'm thinking more like a public than like maybe Twitter, like those sources that we're used to look at. So yeah.
I'll add, this was quite a while ago, but I had a dream. I was like undercover, and I was like dating Ilhan Omar, Congresswoman, and my job was to keep her at this house until the feds. And it was more like a militarized feds rather than like regular feds. I remember that. And I got to keep her there so they can come arrest her. So I do my job. They come and get her. And there's this lady who reminded me of like a woman in like a Navy type of a skirt type of a outfit. So I'm like, this is not FBI. It's not FBI. It's something else. This is military. And she came in, and Ilhan's like, you got to get me out of this. You can do it. You know? And the lady was like, not anymore. It's over. You're on your own. You're doing whatever. It's over. And the lady storms out of the room, and Ilhan's just sitting there like, oh my God, it's really over. And after that, I never ever saw Hillary Clinton. But in this dream, I absolutely knew she's in the next room in this house. She's sitting there and she's next. So I thought to myself when I woke up, and I go, okay, is she really next? Like, in other words, wait for Ilhan or whatever. Maybe one gets arrested, then Hillary's next. Or what they're showing me, or was it that Hillary ratted out something extra to get Ilhan arrested, you know? But I'm going, I don't think they need Hillary for her. That they've already got her marrying her brother to come over here. I mean, that's already fraud, you know, fraudulently trying to be a U.S. citizen. But I just I woke up and I go, oh my God, Hillary Clinton's in another room. She's in trouble. And I thought, holy shit, she's gonna be arrested. So that was last year. I had that dream like many months ago. I never forgot it.
Wow.
Wow. Cool. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get into the finance stuff and the astrological alignments for finance, and also Cliff High's latest Substack writing. I think it was from earlier today or yesterday. You guys can go check that out. Before I do that, I kind of want to navigate a difficult subject also. Joe, you and I have been talking to Cliff in the last couple of days, and he was mentioning that there's a certain city, which we can't name, in a certain area, in a theater of war that is currently underway, that apparently is very, very strategic to the black hats. Mm-hmm. And if this city fell in the next couple of days or weeks here, we could be looking at a stash of information coming out to the public in such volume to really reshape how we see ourselves on this planet. Words to that effect. So without naming that, again, just trying to be careful here.
Secrets revealed.
Secrets revealed, right? Exactly. What's your gut feeling exactly? Because we were always looking, you and I, okay, well, where do the secrets revealed come from? Is it the food riots, people, rushing into government buildings, then finally finding Bob the ET somewhere sitting there smoking a joint, or is it because of maybe a war going on and finally the bad people who are on the run right now, their capital fell a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago. We did a show on this here too, and now they're fighting maybe their last stand as we're speaking tonight. But if this particular city goes down and this information treasure troves comes out, it changes everything like almost in an instant. So let me ask you, Julie, first, in terms of the astrology and the eclipse, could that also be either the 30th of April or the 16th of May in terms of getting these secrets revealed from perhaps this deep underground location?
Yeah, I'm thinking more of this one you have on the screen right now, which is the second one on May 16, because first of all, it's a full moon. So meaning that we're completing a cycle, and during a full moon, some information comes to the light. So, and this one is in Scorpio, as I said. So secrets of the elites, anything that has to do with the networks, the financial secrets. So Scorpio, and like I know some people are going to be triggered by this because Scorpio has also a good side. But when the South Node is in a sign, which is right now the South Node is in the sign of Scorpio until 2023, it brings out more of the dark side of the sign. So because we're moving out from it, so we're trying to purge out everything that's really dark about that sign in order to move towards more of the North Node, which is in Taurus. So yeah, this full moon I think is going to wrap up and bring some stuff to the light that is related to all the secrets, the financial secrets, political secrets, and Scorpio is also sex secrets. So, so yeah. And the one before is a new moon, so it's more of an opening of a new cycle, and I think it's going to be more related to new centralized cryptos, maybe new, like a new financial era. So to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Joe, anything you want to add to that before we go to the next segment?
No, I'm just was thinking about, another dream I had a while back. In the news is North Korea. They fired off a big ICBM, and I had a dream. I was like, guys, I've had a dream about an ICBM being launched. This is a while back, and then I remember seeing, I don't know if it was another ICBM or some kind of missile launch. And I go, well, that other one was from the coast of California. And then I also had a dream about a ship being attacked that reminded me of like a U.S. naval vessel of some type. Now, could it have been one of these other ones, over in Ukraine at the moment? Maybe. But I'm going, honestly, my gut tells me we have to get involved. Biden's going to send them over there. It's going to be a complete shit show. One of our ships gets sunk. Da-da-da-da. And I'm going to go, yeah, there's my dream. And yeah, it's just, another thing, like, with kind of what you started the conversation with, Cliff High's data talking about this, some event, big panic to own, but he was also talking about these big jumps that would be coming in, like Bitcoin specifically. And that's interesting because Woo Dude had a while back said, maybe right after he got out of the hospital, he goes, they're showing me like $50,000 Bitcoin is kind of important. Like when we hit that, that's almost like one of Cliff High's temporal markers where, okay, things might start getting interesting. He goes, but he goes, they're just showing me like it just jumps. It doesn't like go up. It just freaking jumps to like another level.
Right.
And then it jumps to another level. And Cliff had been talking about that recently. So I thought, man, now Cliff's picking that up. We must be getting close.
We must be getting close. And of course, what's happening in that theater of war also, it's forcing a lot of people here to look at new avenues to deal with their finances. So one, we're seeing an acceleration of the de-dollarization. More and more countries now are selling petroleum for other than the US dollar. And now we're seeing Russia now saying that the egregious countries now have to pay for their energy services in ruble. And there's talks about them backing the ruble with gold. So yeah, exactly. So that's almost a gold standard there, almost de facto. So these things are accelerating, even though the mainstream news is not telling you anything about this. So you need to connect the dots. But the petrodollar did die last year with that agreement that Saudi Arabia did with Russia. So again, it's no coincidence that we're seeing all of this rhetoric around that country right now. So let me bring up that you just mentioned, Cliff. I'm going to bring up this Substack here. For the conversation. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Before I do that, there was a comment I wanted to address because I had that same comment in my previous show at 6 o'clock. Miss P, JC, wondering if Janine isn't pulling cards. This is a Friday show, so Janine usually pulls on Monday and Wednesday, every Monday and Wednesday, except for the last 2 weeks. Her mom passed away, so we did do quite a bit of reshuffling of our scheduling, but we're back to our normal schedule as of next week. And this weekend also, we are going to be recording the next, where are they? Where are they? There you go. This weekend, we are recording the next Beyond Crypto Woo for silver for the month of April, and also the Astro Woo Finance for the month of April. So we're recording those back to back at this weekend. Those will be available for you guys on the pay-per-view. So yes, schedule absolutely the same. Janine is also adding some things to her schedule to try to beef up again the viewership on Sending Ravens, and she does really good interviews. So go check her out. And in the meantime, let's get back here to our meat and potatoes. So this is Cliff's Substack. I did yesterday, or it was earlier this morning. Let me see. Hold on. 10 hours ago. Yeah, that was this morning. Man, the days are long. There's a lot of shit going on. Joe, you want to start reading from this point here? Traveling the period of unobtainium. This was the key word here in people chasing a Bitcoin, and then suddenly it was unobtainable. Same thing here with silver. We're getting into that temporal marker zone of all of these events colliding. Read this for the audience, and then we'll start a conversation.
Yes, it's traveling to the period of unobtainium. We will progress through a time where we will see $1,000 per day increases in the price for Bitcoin. It was in that period that the data sets showed silver rising dramatically, first in big steps of $1 a day, then leaps of $5 a day, and then daily jumps of $20 or more. It also moves towards unobtainium status by becoming really difficult to get, and he says we're getting close now. These days were also forecast to include massive changes in how global humanity organized itself. We now know it is going to be due to the crushing of the Khazarian mafia, aka officialdom, and the release of humanity from their oppression. Generalized political chaos was in the forecast, as was a global great meeting that will somehow organized by grandmothers. We will have liberation of true human history appear in many forms, much of which will force our focus to Antarctica. Space aliens are forecast to show what passes for their faces. This was a late summer appearance. In my opinion, 2022 is shaping up as the year of unobtainium. Exciting, huh?
Wow. Let me bring that link down so you guys can go and read that for yourselves and subscribe to Cliff's Substack there. Okay, so that's in the live chat now. And let me take this quick moment also to read from our three-way conversation from earlier this morning. Cliff said, I don't know when it will occur, but the panic to own Bitcoin will catch us by surprise. Probably close now that I can buy my diesel direct from Russia in BTC. I thought that was funny. And then the rest of the part, okay, the thing is that the thing is that the time that BTC goes unobtainium, we will also see altcoins deaths. And this was in the old Webbot data reports, where a lot of those altcoins would not survive this transition. So we're getting into that time frame as well. And we'll get into that conversation now as to what to do with your altcoins, which one to maybe keep in your wallet, and some maybe that you need to start trading out and maybe putting out of harm's way. So this is a conversation for later in the show. But he says maybe as much as 30 or 40% of them will fail. Joe, so going back to that panic to own, we're seeing this situation now. Even in Canada, it was a big explanation to a lot of the normies that, hey, if you don't agree with your government, they can seize your bank account. Nobody, if you had said that even 2 months ago in Canada, nobody would have even believed you that that was possible. And yet here we are. It absolutely happened. Even Trudeau is getting shit about it at all of his travel.
Oh yeah, it's great.
UN council meetings in the last couple of weeks. People are calling him a dictator to his face. So there you go. So it did happen. So that is triggering a lot of people into finally picking up the baton here and learning about crypto for themselves, so that they can empower themselves and put their hard-earned wealth out of harm's way. But the thing about the 30 to 40% of the altcoins disappearing, you and I have been listening a long time. We've spread it wide. We've looked at so many coins. There's, of course, the main coins that are in our crypto crash course for the audience members to check out. We had our favorite wallet list. There are hot picks for the year. But in terms of these altcoins, do you think it's wise at this point, given the situation that we're in now, to start thinking maybe of either consolidating out, maybe selling half of them to rejigger some of that investment into other safer coins? What do you think is the timing for that right now? Again,
yeah,
financial advice, but what would you say?
As far as meme coins, like, I mean, I've got Doge and I've got Shiba as far as like meme coins go. But I think they've got so much more legs to go first before we get to that point. So I'm not selling. I always tell my Patreon members, you know, when I make a move, I'll post it, you know, almost right away, and say, okay, here's what I just did, or I'm about to do this, or whatever. But I think we got a nice, you know, I think we're going to have a run up, like I've been saying, my thoughts anyways. And then one of the most hellacious crashes you've ever seen. But if you get out when that little pop-up happens, take some of that cash, sit on the side or in a stable coin, and that happens, something, you know, I mean, I'm talking probably possibly 80% or more drop in I think cryptos, because I was shown the price, you know, They actually showed it to me. So only problem is I don't know when that is. So I'm just trying to figure things out. But they give me other dreams about. They got me a dream about. I'd asked them, are we going up first? Are we going to crash? What's going to happen? They showed me this weird dream. I ended up doing a video on it. It was supposed to be for Patreon members, and then I accidentally left it public, so everybody on YouTube saw it. But I was like, oh, that's spirit, man. They want people to know. So I talked about that, but I'm not worried about.
Let me also add to that. Let's say I'll take the reverse opinion of that and be even more on the safe side, right? And the people can make their own minds. What if I said, hey, I bought Litecoin at $100. It's sitting at 180 right now. Why don't I take my original investment out of that? Or I'll just say altcoins, not Litecoin, just altcoins. Why don't I take my original money and leave the profit there to play basically with the house's money, and then take that original investment and either put it into physical gold or silver, or maybe put it into maybe Bitcoin and Ethereum. That could also be a way to look at things if you were really, really risk averse in your portfolio. Again, depends on your age, where you're at in your financial stability. So I wanted to have this conversation with you guys to kind of just open that up. But Julie, let's bring in the astrology here, because again, April is really big in terms of not just the eclipse, but also the financial changes. So let me bring that back up for the audience, and please just explain to us how all of this collides right now for huge, huge changes for the month of April.
So again, I know I've been talking a bit about this for a few months. I've been seeing the rise of the silver prices and some cryptos. I was going to say Bitcoins, but cryptos. I was foreseeing that this eclipse was going to be really big for all decentralized assets, including silver and cryptos. So this is April 30th. So because what's happening is that the nodes of the moon, which represent karma, collective karma, but also the north node represents what is going to gain value in the collective. And it moved into Taurus on mid-January. So, and the north node is going to stay in the sign of Taurus, which is the sign of money, until mid-2023. And Taurus is related to silver. And also we've got Uranus that's there. And it's very tightly conjunct this eclipse. So Uranus represents crypto because it is in the sign of money. So Uranus is technology, Taurus is money. So we've got Uranus there. And this eclipse is so close to Uranus that it's kind of saying that it's going to favor decentralized assets. And from that eclipse moving forward till the end of 2022, we've got Uranus and the North Node being almost like at the same position and traveling together in the sign of Taurus. So the North Node is an increase of value. Uranus is crypto. And I feel like in my point of view, more of this like up and down swing with crypto was before that eclipse of April 30th. And I feel like from this eclipse moving forward is going to be higher up. But of course, I agree with you when you say that some cryptos are going to fail. I don't think it's all cryptos that's going to make it to the next part of our economy. But this is certainly favoring crypto and silver moving from that eclipse moving forward.
Right. And Joe, what are your thoughts based on that astrology or anything else you want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, with me, I wish I had timing of how this stuff would go when I get my dreams, but I'm expecting a big move up or decent move up, big gigantic crash, and then way better after that.
Right.
Way better after the crash.
Well, you and I have always talked about this, that when this really goes, like when we're there at that particular time that we're almost here now entering, we knew that there would be a crash of some sort, one maybe last run at the can, and then you'll never get those prices again. Similar to when Cliff said, hey, by the time we pass through 888 3 times, you'll never see Bitcoin at 888 again. And a lot of people wish they would have listened to him again. And now he's talking about this $50,000 mark. Or I know Richard Woo Dude is talking about that. But Cliff is also saying that we're at an inflection point right now for Bitcoin where it changes its pattern. And this was also in the old Webbot data reports that eventually he would change its the crocodile teeth that Julie was just talking about now. Mark is raising a good point on the screen. He says, it's almost over, people. If you don't have it already, you won't be able to get it. That's the whole point of the unattainment thing. And also the quickening devaluation of your purchasing power in your dollar. So this is not just about silver, but also for crypto. This unobtainment thing for Bitcoin, I'd like to have Cliff come back on the line and say why it's unobtainable. Is it because the price is just crazy for most people, it's unobtainable, or is it because nobody wants to sell at that point? Something happens on the market where it's kind of like silver. If the COMEX breaks or the BMA breaks, well, what's the price? Nobody's going to sell until they know what the actual price is, which we need actual price discovery. So what's your thought on all of this, Joe?
Yeah, that's possible. But at the same time, my other dream about the food thing with the steaks in a bag, and I go to pay for them, and they're like, those two big ones in the middle, I can't price them right now. She had to get her manager. And my takeaway was, oh, you can't price it because the price changes every day. It's going up. So that you don't want to price it and then you not make money because it's too high already. Right. I think it's going to be a combination of the things you said. So if silver is jumping $5 a day, or like Cliff says, it's going to get to 20 a day, there's no way these coin stores are going to open up and go, yeah, give me spot plus, no way. They're like, dude, I don't want to sell it right now. The price, if I sell to you today, it might go up another $20 on top of the price today. He goes, they may not want to sell it.
Because think about it, they're having trouble sourcing the silver right now. A lot of these billion dealers, the big ones, are saying, whoa, we're looking at 4 or 6 weeks and maybe we'll let you know when we get them type of thing. So, of course, if they have inventory and they get to that point where we're $1 a day, $5 a day, $20 a day, they might just say, hey, turn the sign off, we're closed, and we're waiting for bigger prices until we sell our remaining inventory. Andy had that conversation with me a couple of months ago, and his dad had told him, do you feel that big order on that day, or do you just hold off? And then he's like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. So this is going to be a tough one for a lot of those dealers as well. So again, going back to Mark's comment, if you don't own it right now, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I just want it to drop a little bit more, I'll buy it." I'm like, if you don't already have positions, that might not be the best strategy, guys. Honestly, things are really weird right now, as you can tell. Never mind the wacky woo of JC, Julie, and Jean-Claude, but things are really wacky around the planet. So, Joe, let's go into, or Julie, let's get into the Beyond Crypto Finding Your Own. You've recently taken the course as well. Introduce your mother to that. Can you explain to the audience members here your process into getting into crypto, why you did so, why also the astrology was supporting this decision for you, and what you can say to people who are still kind of not sure and kind of hoping that there's some external savior thing here that's going to save them and make them all rich and pay their mortgages. What would you say to those people?
Well, at first I have to say I wasn't sure about investing in crypto at all. But since I saw the astrology for 2022 with the North Node in Taurus and Uranus linking to the North Node all year, I'm sorry if you hear some background noise in my house. Uranus, again, it's crypto in the sign of Taurus, and we've got the North Node moving with it for the rest of 2022. So a big increase in value in crypto, but also the North Node symbolizes our future, our collective future. So we're moving toward learning how to exchange with cryptocurrencies. So whether we like it or not, I feel like it's a learning that we have to do at some point. And I felt like I had to do it as soon as I could, because it's our future. And the South Node is in the opposite sign of Scorpio, which represents the old banking system. And the South Node always depletes the sign it's in. So it's like the old banking system, the old way of doing transactions with the banks and between stores and between us. It's over. It's dying out. It's dying out. So whether we want to accept it or not, it's like the way forward. So I felt like the course was a really good way, a really good introduction for people like me who had no clue how it worked. And it was very informative. And I think I did maybe 2.5 hours of videos with you and Joe. And afterwards, I was able to build my own wallet. And I was able to be to have some cryptocurrencies for myself. So it's pretty amazing.
So from watching the 2.5 hour courses altogether there, setting up your exchange and then your wallet, making your first purchase, how long did that all take to put together?
Well, I had to wait a little bit with my bank. I had some issues.
Imagine that.
They didn't want me to get my money out of the bank, of course. So I would say that was the longest part. That was the most difficult part of all the crypto, setting up my wallet and buying my first crypto. So,
and I have to say, guys, take that warning because a lot of people are having that same issue. So even if you take the course, you set up your wallet and your exchange, you might think, oh, I'll wait, I'll do that later. No, do that now, because you might have more time to wait because of the banking system where you can't off-ramp from the bank into the crypto world. They're making it harder and harder. I was talking to a guy.
Hold up.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You just triggered something. So
yeah,
I remember when exchanges, and I might have even been Binance, people would start flooding in and signing up, and they would just instantly stop registrations.
Yeah.
Too many people coming in, overloading our system, trying another, they would have days. You'd have to wait days. And then you try to log in or create a new account, and it may have been up. And then I remember one of them was like, okay, we're allowing registrations. And then okay, well, we just stopped. And I had to wait days myself. I go, holy shit. And I'm pretty savvy and, trying to get in there. Nope, no, I got caught too. So once the account's there, then you can log in. But you got to understand when people are panicking, to get out of whatever they're in, assets, their dollar, wherever country they're in, to go, I got to get crypto. There's only so many exchanges online. Everyone wants to be on the biggest ones because that's where all the action is. That's where all the liquidity is. So you have to be prepared for this. Again, so if you already have an account, you've already set it up, it's there, it's waiting. It's like having your generator, but it's not hooked up. I don't have any gas. It's in a storage unit. I'll get to it later. No, get it now. Put the gas in there now. Get your cords ready. Maybe not plug it in, but have that damn thing ready to snap in place.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Like, you guys got to.
You don't need to fill it to the top with gasoline, because you might, burn your gasoline if you don't use it for a year. But you want a little bit in there so that starts when you need it.
I just got my generator today. So funny.
It's so funny.
As prepared as we can for the
when
future.
I went to do my flight lessons the final week, I'll just say I went north a ways, out of state, to finish it. But it's like a day or two before I'm about to go. It's the day before I go, I'm moving that generator to the spot where I know the cord will reach, where I always told myself I'll just pull it over there with the truck, because it's a big, it's on a dual axle trailer. Mm-hmm. So I bring it over there, and I'm like, I'm going to hook it up, and it's just going to be on standby. Mm-hmm. And if God forbid something happens, I'm out of town, my wife, call her, whatever, flip this, flip that, turn it on, okay. And sure as shit, it was probably the first night. It's like midnight, 12:30. She's calling me. Power just went out. It's not coming back on. And I'm like, oh, crap. All right. So we're waiting a little bit. I go, yeah. I look online. Oh, they're saying it's not going to be till 5 o'clock in the morning. I go, okay. Go out there, turn this thing off, flip that on, and then crank it by doing this. She goes, oh, okay. How do I know when the power comes back on? I said, well, if it's nighttime and you're looking, you'll see the power in the streets. But I said, based on what I'm reading here, by the time you wake up in the morning, it should be on. And not to mention, just call me in the morning, and I'll look online to see if it's been restored. So it was, and I said, all right, here's how you turn it off. So I had that kind of gut feeling. It wasn't a dream, but it was like, get this set. So imagine plenty of people go out of town. You're out of town. Your wife's at home. You didn't really set, you're not really set there. You didn't think it'd happen when you're out of town, whatever it is that happens. And now you're screwed. You got to be prepared, people. That's the big thing here. Be freaking prepared.
Yeah. You can wish for the best, but man, prepare for the worst. I mean, what do you have to lose? Preparing is fun. You sleep better at night. Of course, a lot of people are having trouble sleeping. And if you are having trouble sleeping, please do go and check out Pure Bulk. You can find Cliff's High's Pure Sleep here. This is the new concoction, Generation 2. I really love this one. I don't know. Have you tried the second one yet, Joe? The taste of it?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love the taste. It tastes like those old, ¿cómo se llama? I used to have this little box, a square box, cardboard, when I was a kid. Yes, that's it. Like the purple nerds. I think that's what it was. That's kind of what it tastes like. Anyways, I really like the taste. Guys, check it out, purebulk.com. And you're looking for Pure Sleep from Cliff High. And if you use, of course, a coupon code BeyondMystic, you'll get a bit of a discount there as well. And last but not least, on the cryptos, guys, check it out. This is on our pay-per-view, available to all of you now. And there's also the security addendum course in addition to that. If you are already taking this course and you want to make sure you're a little bit more secure, there's a lot of scam out there that might be of interest to you. And in a couple of days from now, I will also be uploading, Joe and I just prepared a third portion to this course, a third addendum, basically, with respect to wallets, the different type of wallets between the cold wallets and the hot wallets. A lot of people are asking for that information, so we've just created that extra course as well, which will probably be online by Monday or Tuesday, as soon as we're done also with the Beyond Crypto Woo and the Astro Woo for the month of April. Joe, we're seeing a lot of weird things happening in the silver market right now. Of course, the LME is
in the nickel market.
Nickel market, yeah, they're halted again on the upside here today. A lot of stress there. We're maybe days away from this happening in the silver market as well. The same shenanigans are happening everywhere, and it's breaking. In the meantime, guys, if you want a physical silver in your possession, beyondmystic.net/silver. The coupons afforded to the Beyond Mystic audience by Miles Franklin. Here we have the 1 ounce Trump coins here, really cool product. Not a lot of those, so if you're looking for that, make it quick. These are $6.25 over spot, and we also have the 2022 silver Britannias at $5.50 over spot, and those cool Valcanby silver bars. They look like a credit card. It's really cool, and you can break them in small pieces. I really like those. That's a cool product as well. So do go check that out. And Julie, speaking of silver, where are we at with the Beyond Mystic silver bar logo design? What's new, and what's the timing looking like with the process of the die making?
Yeah, so we just approved the two proofs for the new silver design, the silver bar designs for Beyond Mystic. So yeah, I think they're gonna start making the mold probably on Monday, I'm guessing. So we should have them pretty soon. Very excited about that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And guys, if you want to be notified as soon as these bars come out, please do go and fill out the waiting list. No purchase necessary, but of course, you'll be notified before the public here when they do go on sale. And this will be a limited strike as well. So it'll give us an idea of how many we need to produce here to accommodate at least here at the Beyond Mystic audience. So you can find that at beyondmystic.net/silver bar. Joe, what did I want to finish with you? Oh, somebody typed in the chat, Joe. There's a lot of things happening with XRP. You and I and Cliff have been talking about that all week here. The involvement of BlackRock. There's a lot of weird shenanigans happening. Long Shadow in the chat said, CIBC Canada using XRP Ledger. Did you hear about that? I can't verify this. That's interesting, Long Shadow. I'll look up on that. But Joe, bring us up to speed on this whole XRP drama and perhaps what BlackRock is trying to do here in cornering that market.
Yeah, well, they essentially, with the rumors, they want to basically take over XRP themselves, ultimately. But BlackRock, again, that's one of the largest. They got $10 trillion in assets. Big giant elitist organization, and they want to use Ripple. They're going to be investing in it. So that's all I need. That's all I need to know to say, hey, I've got mine. We heard that one day this might happen, and we might even be bought out by force because they want it all. And it's like, well, that's fine because the prices we're going to ultimately sell for would be massive. So fine, come take my XRP. But again, they had the lawsuit. The 222 thing was written on the blackboard behind them. It's just this big shit show. And I think sooner or later, probably sooner rather than later, that lawsuit's going to be done, and it may just get tossed. I subscribed to Crypto Viewing, Dick Algar and the guys, and they did I don't know if it was today or yesterday, a big thing on XRP, big reviewing. And long story short, BlackRock was mentioned, central banks and SWIFT type of thing was mentioned. Like everything we've talked about, it's looking like XRP is going to fulfill. And their basic consensus was, in the next 2 to 3 years, anyone that was holding it would be happy essentially that they had it. So, I've been sitting on mine, like I said, and one of the interesting things I'll mention that they said was they had done 2 or 3 other past XRP ones a while back, and in those they were picking up like lawsuit, court, this and that, and they said in this one they no longer pick that up. So they go, I think that's signifying we're getting really close to that whole lawsuit thing ending, one way or the other. So I thought that was interesting, and I just remember. I'll just go ahead and give this number out. I was shown in a dream $4.29 XRP a while back. So they've also showed me the low, but I think maybe after the lawsuit, it may pop to that number, like, oh, the lawsuit's over, or the SEC withdrew, or whatever happens. I don't think it's going to be XRP going, oh, we settled with them. I just don't think so, but you never know. Long story short is, I think when it settles or whatever happens, it'll be good news for XRP, and maybe it'll pop to that $4.29. But I'll say this, when they give me numbers like that, so far, it was always a good number to sell it at because it always dropped pretty good, like a good amount afterwards. So that's just something I remember, and I go, well, we'll see what happens.
Well, there's another comment here on the screen. Royal Bank of Canada announced XRP use. I didn't see that they announced they would use it, but I did see this article on Seeking Alpha, and it was a question: did RBC consider Ripple's tech as payment? So there's rumblings here behind. So typically, where there's smoke, there's fire. So whether it's CIBC, as a questioner was saying, or Royal Bank, there's something afoot here, of course, in the financial system. And
so it's not $497; it was $4.97, I think.
Right.
29 cents. $4.29.
Yeah.
My joke. Let's clarify that.
So where there's smoke, there's fire. There's something going on here. But here, the way BlackRock is describing here too, there's a quote in there. It's absolutely funny because on one hand, they're trying to do this takeover, but they're still pushing out the mainstream narrative of how good the CBDCs are. Basically, CBDC is good, decentralized crypto is bad. So let me read a part of this clip here. Let's see. He spoke about central bank digital currencies, CBDC, and how they can enhance the settlement of international transactions while reducing risk of money laundering and corruption. Of course, the central bank money will reduce the risk of. Oh, okay. I don't even want to get into that. That's hilarious. But anyway,
and if I can add to that, the first eclipse on April 30th, as I said, is conjunct Uranus, and Uranus brings big surprises, like very unexpected events. So I'm pretty sure something big is going to happen related to crypto, maybe some type of announcement about XRP or Bitcoin, but I'm pretty sure it's going to surprise everybody. So usually when we try to predict what Uranus is going to bring, we're never really right, because it's really a planet of sudden change and sudden news, sudden revelations. But it's for sure going to be big in favoring decentralized assets, for sure.
And to be clear, Joe, just so people know what we're talking about here, if BlackRock is taking over XRP, if they're pushing this in the narrative with the CBDCs, that's the old banking world talking, okay?
Yes.
So you know the old banking world is going to die, but the point is there's a play here to be moved. And of course, it's a risky play, so people should know there's risk here. We're not taking this lightly, neither Joe or myself. So, you know, be wary of that too. And this is not financial advice, but I can tell you one thing. You really have to pay attention to this, because at one point, yes, the tide rises all ships. But when we're in the transition that we're in now, everything that's, come on, so not everything is equal. Yeah, it's so fluid. Not everything is made equal right now. And really weird shit is about to happen. Like the old structures where you can say A leads to B leads to C no longer works right now, especially not with all of these secret reveals. We can go A leads to B leads to Z really fucking quick. So again, if you're in these investments, you have to pay attention. You can't just go away. Maybe with gold and silver and Bitcoin, you can put it away for a long time and not really look at it. But if you're in some of these trades here, you need to really pay attention to where the wind is going if you want to play those trades. Joe, any advice on that note as well?
I mean, yeah, first of all, the common sense rules: don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Don't go out and get a freaking mortgage and dump it into crypto or something. Because again, you do that, and then the big crash that I saw happens, some of you may commit suicide. I mean, the drop that I saw would just devastate you. So you don't play with money you can't afford to lose. But at the same time, understand this is the crypto market. This is typically what will happen sooner or later, and then it goes way back up if you're patient enough. But it is still gut-wrenching. So you just have to be smart about it. Lick your ice cream, take your profits, lick your ice cream. Like JC talked about earlier, Litecoin at 100, then it's 180. Take your 100 back out. Now you got 80. That's house money. That's free. Yeah. At the same time, you know, maybe you do want to wait a little longer. Well, I want $300 Litecoin. Okay, but when it hits 300, take your $100 out. Plan your trade and trade your plan.
Yeah. That's very good advice, Joe. It sounds like you've done this before.
Once or twice.
Once or twice. How's that helicopter training going, Joe?
Yeah, I've completed all the training that I legally have to have. I've done all the maneuvers that I have to have done. It's all in my logbook. I've done some Class D airport landings. I had to have 3 landings in the Class B control towered airport. And so I did. Actually, I've got like 5 total. And when I came back to Florida, I landed in 2 more, 2 to make the 5 or so. And anyways, yeah, so it's going good. I just need to study up on some of the coursework and some of the questions the examiner is going to ask me for the oral part of the exam. And I've got a study kit that I have. So now I can just focus on that. I don't have to worry about, I got to meet him. I got to do this. We still need to do that. Like, no, I can fly the helicopter whenever I want now and just practice my maneuvers to make sure that I'm efficient and proficient with them, so that when I do schedule my check ride with the FAA, guy will sit there and go, well, yeah, you know what you're doing. Like everything I asked you to do, you've done. Okay. But before we even get to that part, we sit down in an office building somewhere, maybe at the FBO at the airport, and it's oral time. Okay. Well, he's going to ask me all these questions, airspace and aerodynamics and all this, just different stuff. And I just have to know, not everything, but most of what he asked. So that's where I'm at now. I'm just going to study that. But once I pass that check ride, I'm licensed. We're ready to go. Time to effing get back to New Mexico and fly around. And I'm just thinking, imagine us 3 with a little bit of camping gear going to some of these places that we've kind of looked from a distance even, that there's no roads there. Like there's no way to get there.
Yeah.
We land, we get out. Okay, we're camping here tonight. Helicopter's sitting there. We're gonna have a campfire. We're gonna look at the stars and be somewhere where no human being's been, maybe in thousands of years or so. But for, you know, besides the treasure hunting stuff, like just some of these incredible places, I go, man, this is gonna be.
I brought up the helicopter for the audience members who, when I was being facetious about, it feels like you've done this before, Joe. Guys, if you're just new to this channel and you don't know, Joe just a couple of years ago was, you know, a hardworking blue collar guy, and he went from doing that to not working. To having paid his house, a really nice one at that, and now having a helicopter and gallivanting around the world here. When of course there's no system. All this creating this abundance by learning and you know, taking advantage of the winds of change of universe. So these are all options available to each and every one of us, as long as we educate ourselves and make that possible for ourselves. That's the whole point of all of this, is becoming your own bank and being responsible. Joe, for the people who did take the course, they've got their wallet set up, they got their exchange, they got a few coins in already, but they still need a little bit of help. They're not sure maybe of the spread of their wallets, or maybe there's something a little bit more technical. We've had a lot of issues with people trying to use voice over IP here in Canada. For some reason, the exchanges were not accepting those phone numbers. What do you have for them on your Patreon account here? I know there's 2 accounts. Explain to the audience here the 2 packages you have for them.
Yeah, so in US dollars, it's $20 in the middle, the woo-woo one, and then the right one is $40 for the JSNIP4 Elite. And if you have questions and things like that, that's the one you're going to want, the $40 one, so that you can private message me on Patreon. Hey, Joe, blah, 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 and I'll go try to find the answer for you if I don't know it. Of course, I'm not going to do this major sit down, hold your hand, walk you through a purchase, like it's all in the videos that we have. So, like, you know, that's already there. But I do get quite a few people wanting portfolio reviews. Hey, do I need more of one or the other, Joe? Or am I missing something you would have? And, oh, yeah, you don't have any theta. You know, you need some theta or whatever. Stuff like that. And then, of course, the middle one, anything that I'm ever going to post on there is pretty much going to be on that $20 one, that middle one. Okay. And it's typically, hey, woo-woo dude just called. The spirit said we need to jump on Matic or whatever. Just like the other day he called on AMP. We've never invested in AMP to date. And it was like at 20 cents or something. It ran up to 30 cents. Like, bang. I mean, just almost instantly. And he gave the call. You know, he called me up. So I'll get that stuff. I'll post it. Or I'll get a dream and go, holy shit, they just showed me this about crypto, and I'll post it. It's all going to be there. And then when I make my move and say, hey, I'm selling right now, I post it. I don't just sell and tell you guys later, oh, I sold on that one when it was high. I didn't tell you, jabronis, you know, like, no, I tell everybody, you know, like, we're all in this together, man. So I post everything that I do, and, you know. Yeah. Cool. And of course, you can be part of a community there and share with other people who have the same experience too. That's and just reading the chat will help you out a great deal. So guys, check it out at patreon.com/JSNIP4. And of course, you can find him and a lot of free stuff also on his new YouTube channel. He gets in trouble. He's like me, you know, he's one of those repeat offenders here on YouTube. Anyways, you can find him here at JSNIP42 on YouTube. Julie, for the people who want to maybe take advantage more of our courses here and our episodes on the Astro Woo finance and how astrology really affects your personal finance and how you can gain that if you know a little bit better the alignments in your personal zodiac. What can you share with them in terms of your personal birth charts, and let them know also about the bookings, the tarot bookings with your lovely sister Julie, Julie. Go ahead. Oh, you're on mute, Julie.
Okay, so yeah, I produce some birth chart, personalized birth chart. I only need your birth date. Time of birth is kind of important because it defines your rising sign. But if you don't have it, I can put noon, and all of the other planet placements will be right, just the rising sign that can depend from the birth time. So yeah, you can choose the color of your choice. This is a digital product, so it means it's going to be sent via email. And also there's a 15 to 20 pages report with all your planetary positions in the sign. What do they mean? What defines your personality and the strongest alignment in your chart.
And I have to say, before you go further here, I have this report for myself, and it's really extensive. I've read it once already, and I need to read it 2 more times. Like, there's a lot in here, Julie. I thought when I originally read this, I'm like, oh, okay, there'll be a few things about the, you know, the main points on my my birth chart, but it really brings into perspective a lot more than I thought. So good on you. And folks, there's a lot in there just in this, on top of course, having a graphic artwork and you can look at and follow along when we're talking about all of these astrological alignments here. Go ahead, Julie.
Thank you. Well, it certainly, I think it helps you discover who you are even more, because sometimes we can explain also some different parts of our personality and how we react to different types of situations with the birth chart. So for me, it was like a huge aha moment when I learned how to figure this out.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also if you know your rising sign or just your sun sign, your regular zodiac sign, I think it helps for the Astro Woo episode that we're going to film this weekend for the month of April. And we're going to go with the 12 zodiac signs with all predictions for the month of April regarding finances and what it means for you specifically with your own rising sign or sun sign. So I think it's going to be really interesting. Can't wait to film that because yeah, it's going to be a big month with the eclipse.
And folks, just so we know, we're delayed by about a week here because Janine's mother passed away, and we moved the schedule back a little bit here. But in the meantime, if you haven't already watched the March one, still a lot of information with you that will be catapulted into the April download for you guys as well. Anyways, this one is on sale. Save 22 is the coupon code if you have not already seen it. Denise is saying, wow, Julie and Sophie are amazing. Will not disappoint. Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of great testimonials also for your lovely sister. Let's talk about the new products are on the website now in terms of the consultations, the tarot consultations with Sophie, and what the timing is right now on her schedule.
So right now with the 1 hour tarot consultation with Sophie, she's booking, I think mid-May right now. But if you have a more urgent need for answers, she opens up priority booking of 30 minutes. I think there's some in 2 weeks, but she might open other one because she has such a high demand for that one too. So if you have more like specific questions, it's a 30-minute tarot reading with Sophie. She's great. She's really great. And she's really fast at answering questions. So you can like really ask a lot of them in a 30-minute consultation.
She's like a rock star, man. She's really, really fast. Guys, if you haven't seen those already, go check out the Divine Feminine Oracle show. And there's another one coming up here with Julie very shortly as well. You'll see how amazing she is. And this is all, of course, live on the cuff. And we're doing both the Astro and Tarot in these shows. You'll see how amazing she is. And you'll see a lot of the testimonials we're getting is absolutely through the roof. So do go check that out if you haven't done so already. What else do I have? I think, Julie, I'm going to ask you to maybe pull some cards and do a quick reading, maybe for the weekend. Joe, how do you want to phrase? Let's ask the universe here a question on maybe how to navigate the weekend, the next week. How would you phrase the question for Julie?
Is there any huge news coming? You know, just something major.
For the weekend or the week after?
Well, let's just say the next week. You know,
next week.
Just within a week from now, you know, roughly.
Okay.
So I don't get that for the next week. I feel I have more of a 9 of Cups card, which is more of a make sure you're content with what you have and make sure you put your energy more on things you're grateful for, to like make sure you have everything you need, to make sure that you're really content with your present situation. It's more of a living in the present moment type of energy. And also I've got, what do you need to release? So I think yeah, it's more like a energetic cleaning of our lives that's going on in the next week. So it's more like what is going to travel with you for the next period, and like what are you grateful for? What do you want more in your life? What do you want to release? So it's a big there's a big theme of making sure you're happy and content with your situation.
And being okay with letting shit go that no longer serves you. I think that's a good time. Maybe before all of this big news comes in and maybe changes your life even more, you'll have a little bit more flexibility if you're not weighed down with some of the old programs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and also like putting your energy and intentions on yourself instead of like hoping for an external savior, which is like really the theme for this card, the Nine of Cups. It's like, yeah, putting your focus on yourself and making sure like you're giving yourself the love that you need, so you don't need to go elsewhere looking for it. So it's like a power place to be in, and not waiting and expecting for outside events, outside people helping you or changing your life because you're unhappy. So it's more like, yeah, making sure you're aligned.
Right. Very good. Okay. Well, there you go, folks. That was the latest edition of the Wacky Woo. Of course, tonight with our special guest, Julie from Maison Jupiter. You can go and subscribe to her YouTube channel here at Maison Jupiter on YouTube. And also, don't forget to go and subscribe to JSNIP4 too here on YouTube at 21,000 and growing strong. But he's still looking for a lot of that community that YouTube took away. So go and hit that subscribe button, man. You know you want to. And also, hey, give me a like, man. I'm almost there. I'm trying to hit that 70K. So hit that subscribe button. I'm at 69.9 something. And yeah, I just want to get over that hump. For some reason, 7 is a big lucky number for me. And it's like, it's just toying with me in the last couple of days. Keep watching it. So please hit that subscribe button. And of course, join us again next week as we resume our normal schedule here. Of course, Janine is back on the Monday night as usual at 8 o'clock Eastern. Julie and I are going to do a French Odyssée Galactique on the Tuesday episode at 8. Janine back at 8 on Wednesday. And then second time on the show, Jason quit. Man, we had a crazy cool episode the first time. If you haven't seen it, go check that episode out. This one too will be a barn burner. I'm telling you, it's going to be really cool. We're going to talk about disclosure and a lot of weird things happening in disclosure. It might be controversial, so stick around for that one. It'll be absolutely cool. I'm Jean-Claude.
Yeah, I might have a. I'm maybe doing a live stream with Woo Dude this weekend. Maybe.
Do you want this weekend here?
Yeah, I think.
Are you going to tweet about it? So where can people find out when you put it up? Are you going to do a pre-post or what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure. Okay,
not sure.
So tomorrow night you're guessing, or Sunday night?
I'm thinking probably Sunday night.
Probably Sunday night. Okay, you're going to tweet about it, right? You tweet about it before you go live, or no?
Not usually. I'll usually do sometimes a YouTube video and just a Patreon post or something, but.
You're so elusive. You're so elusive, Joe. What are you doing here?
Usually I forget. It's just like, oh,
I'm just going live. They'll find me when they find me.
Yeah. If not, you'll watch it when it's done. You know, like it'll.
Right. Well, guys, if you want to watch him live, check out his Twitter. Hopefully, you can find it there, or of course, the YouTube channel tomorrow night at 8 or Sunday. Usually at 8.
I think it's Sunday. Yeah, 8, probably. Sunday. Although sometimes we do a little earlier. He likes to go. Oh, maybe we could do 7. I might do 7.
Keeping you guessing on your toes, just like our financial system, guys. All right, this was the Wacky Woo for Friday. I love you guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.